easy path does not pay well. The hard path that has all the bumps, all the curves, everything that you can imagine that could get in your way. That hard path is a path that will lead to a life that you never thought was possible. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the JS Show. I'm so glad to have you guys here. If this is your first time here, welcome to the channel. Thank you for being a part of this, for potentially joining the community we have over here at the JS Show. It's small, but I'm telling you, it's growing. I'm getting better at content, at least I think I am, and it's just going to continue to grow and grow from here on. So I really don't have much to tell you, except all I ask is that you pay your dues, and the only dues that I ask for is not in the form of money. It's in the form of subscribing to the channel, and then the second part is sharing it with as many people as you can, because that is the only way that my stuff is going to get pushed out there, because the wonderful platforms such as YouTube, Facebook, Instagram like to suppress content like mine, so it makes it a little more difficult to get more and more people to hear the message and join the community. So that's all I ask. Please subscribe to help me out, and then share it so other people get helped and they can join the community also. But other than that, I really don't have anything for you. I'm continuing to try to ramp content up more and more for you guys. And I'm figuring it out more and more each day. So I'm really excited just to see what this next year is going to have in store for the JS Show and everything else that I've got going on. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into it today. So if you didn't know, this is kind of it's an entrepreneurship / self-help, self-improvement type podcast. And I myself am working on becoming an entrepreneur. Technically right now, I'm still an intrapreneur, which means I have a business that I own, operate, but I still work a normal 9-to-5 job. Technically mine's 7 to 3, but you get the gist out of it. But I'm working on developing a business, building a business. I've got a couple things that I'm actually working on right now. One is a real estate business. It's more of a investing type of business. Initially, I was going to do an Airbnb business. I've still got my Airbnb, but I'm transitioning it more into a real estate investment type business, just because I like that better. I like the ability to own the assets more. I'll have a video coming out soon about that. And then the other thing that I'm working on, I kind of prematurely launched it. It's called Tactical Media. It's a marketing agency, but I'm kind of doing an official launch, and just really, I've put a lot more thought and planning into it now. So I'm kind of relaunching it and doing a big official launch of it coming soon with that. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now in my journey. And so something that came to my mind is this. You hear a lot of people say, especially in the entrepreneur space and just in the workspace in general, and it's no days off is what a lot of people say. No days off can be taken one of two ways. A lot of people might see it as negative, thinking like, oh, well, you're a workaholic. You never have time for anything else, none of that. But then the other group see it as like no days off. I'm going to achieve my goal and not take a single day off, because if I take a day off, it's going to take me longer to get to my goal and I may miss out on it. So you could look at it either one of those ways. And in a way, no side really is wrong, because you can be a workaholic. You can work too much, but especially in the entrepreneur space, when you have goals of building something that not a lot of people build, that only 1% of people actually do, it's going to require you to not take any days off. You look at some of the biggest businesses in the world, guarantee you they didn't take weekends off, none of that. They probably worked over holidays, they worked through birthdays, anniversaries, funerals, all that. They were working. And a lot of people call that extreme, but a lot of people don't want to do what only 1% of people in the world actually do. So this message is for people that are wanting to be kind of like that 1%, or want to be that 1%, or have that 1% mindset. So today we are talking about no days off. And I'm going to kind of break it down for you. I'm going to go through kind of what it requires and what things you will encounter when you develop that mindset. I am in the process of developing that mindset. It's been a struggle. I'll be honest. It's not easy. It's not easy. You get tired. You'll see a lot of stuff that comes up, but I can tell you right now, it's worth it. I may not be seeing hundreds of thousands of millions of dollars roll in right now, but I know I'm setting myself up for that down the road. So let's go ahead and get into it today. So the first thing that I've got for you is, when you are trying to adopt that no days off mindset, you have to realize that the uncommon path requires an uncommon amount of effort. And that goes right in with doing what only 1% of people in the world actually do. Because it's not a common path, and it's because it requires so much work, so much effort, that a lot of people just simply aren't willing to do that, and that is fine. Not everybody can be an entrepreneur in the world, and that's what a lot of influencers miss, I feel like, in this space, is they're trying to convince everybody to be an entrepreneur. They're trying to convince them to start their own business, to separate themselves from the workplace, and that doesn't work in an economy. The thing that they should be, I don't necessarily think that they're doing it with the wrong intentions. I myself am guilty of it. If you go back to some of my really early videos, I feel like I still kind of have a hard time finding the right way to go with the message. And what they really need to be talking about is, because it's under the umbrella term financial freedom. And a lot of people think you have to be an entrepreneur to achieve financial freedom, and that's simply not true. You can achieve financial freedom working a normal 9-to-5 job. You just have to be educated on how to use your money to make more money, and to ultimately give you that financial freedom, which will give you the time freedom and location freedom that everybody essentially deserves and can have. And so, but if you want financial freedom, you do have to develop this kind of mindset. You have to develop the mindset that is like the 1%, that is like entrepreneurs. Because financial freedom is not a common path. Not a lot of people actually achieve it. But if you want to do that, you can do it at a normal 9-to-5. You could do it with a side hustle. You could do it being an entrepreneur. All of that. And that's what a lot of people don't realize. A lot of people think, oh, I have to be an entrepreneur. Well, I don't want to be my own boss. I don't want to be responsible for other people's lives, for their jobs, for their families, that sort of deal. And so then they get turned off to it, which simply is not true. You can achieve financial freedom and be free to where if you lost your job today, you would be okay, because you have set yourself up and you're financially free. You are not relying on your job. You're not relying on the government. And that is what people miss. But to be able to achieve that financial freedom point, which I'm not there. I'm honest. I'm not there. I'm shooting you straight. I'm not there. Not even close. But I research, I study people that are there, and where I want to be, this is what it's going to take. So when you choose to take the uncommon path of wanting to achieve financial freedom, it is going to require an uncommon amount of effort, which means you will have to sacrifice a lot. And I mean a lot. You have to sacrifice things like going to fun football games, like this weekend, or some other stuff, but it's happened earlier in this football season. I had to choose between going to a football game, which would essentially take at least 9 hours of my day. that's a full work day that it would take. And so I had to decide. I can either go and have the temporary enjoyment, spend time with my family, and have a good time, or I could stay and work on my craft, work on my business, work on growing this, so it sets me up for a future of enjoyment and freedom. Instead of just enjoying 9 hours, I sacrifice 9 hours so that I can have that future that I want. And so you have to sacrifice a lot. You'll have to sacrifice going to certain holiday events, to birthdays, to funerals, to weddings. There's a lot. It's not easy, and it's not always fun. I mean, majority of it's not fun. And you will lose friends. I mean, straight up. I think at this point, I would consider people around my age. I think I would consider one friend right now. He's the one person that I hear from occasionally, and that's just what happens. I mean, especially if you're younger, because a lot of people, they always talk about how the 20s are when you're supposed to have the most fun time of your life. It's supposed to be all this partying, hanging out, late nights, with people at clubs, at bars, just doing whatever. And so when you're in that age range and you're deciding not to participate in any of that stuff, and you're choosing to participate in starting a business and growing a business and setting your future up, you're going to lose a lot of your friends because they don't understand why. They think this is the time that you're supposed to be enjoying your life. It's their life, but this is what I chose. And so you have to realize that you will lose a lot of friends. And you also have to realize that not a lot of people are going to support you, if any. If you get 1 or 2 people to support you, you are very lucky. I'm very lucky because I have 1 or 2 people that support me unconditionally. I have a lot of people that say they support me, but deep down I know they don't, because there's certain things that show you that people actually support you. And when you'll see who actually supports you and who doesn't by whether those things happen or not. And so that's just something else that you have to realize. And it sucks because people who you thought would be one of your top supporters and who should be one of your top supporters when they're not, that hurts. It hurts bad. And it makes you almost not want to do it. It's something that I've struggled with a lot recently. Somebody very close to me, I could just tell they don't support me. They haven't straight up said it, but they definitely haven't said that they do support me even. And it really bothers me because it's somebody that I would go to look for approval, that I want their approval, that I want to make them proud. But when you're doing something like this, a lot of people don't understand it, especially your family, and your family cares about you. They want you to have something secure. And this life isn't something secure, but especially in the building phase, it's not secure. In the future, it might be secure, but in the building phase, not secure. And so, what I'm having to learn to do is, and what you have to learn to do, is that those people that you know don't support you, don't write them off. Be kind to them. You have to realize they don't understand. They can't comprehend what you were doing. But you have to be able to separate yourself enough that the way that they feel about it, the way that they treat you about it, you can't let it affect you. And if that does mean pushing them very far away, it's what you got to do. Already talked about you'll have to miss events. But the thing is, if you want to achieve great things, your effort and your discipline will determine how far you get. And so that's just something you have to remember when deciding if this is a journey for you, or if you're in the journey deciding whether you want to stick with it or not. Something else in the no days off that you really have to realize is that this This can't be a fad. This can't be another season of life. This isn't something that you do. You have to realize that this is something that's going to take a lot of time. It's going to take 5, 10, 15 years potentially to get to the point where you want to be. And it's a very big common misconception about entrepreneurship, about financial freedom, is that it can happen in just a few months. And that's to the fault of a lot of content creators. You see a lot of these people saying make $100,000 in 30 days when it's just simply not realistic. Yeah, you might get lucky, but the thing is, you're not learning anything. There's easy money to be made, but easy money does not last. And this has to become a way of life. This can't be a season. This can't be a fad. This can't be a trend. When you want to do something that is uncommon, that is going to set your entire future up for success, for your kids to have success, for your grandkids to have success, this has to become a way of life. No days off has to become a way of life. It has to be a mentality that you have to develop. Because you'll find that if you want to dominate one area of your life, you have to actually dominate in every area of your life. And so whether it's in your health, in your relationship with your spouse, relationship with your kids, relationship with people at work, in the workplace, whether it's your business, whether it's your finances, for you to be able to achieve and dominate and achieve true domination, you have to dominate in every area of your life. And when you see one area slacking off, you have to go to that area, address the problem, overcome it, and dominate it once again. Hey guys, just wanted to interrupt for just a second. I hope you're enjoying everything in this video. I hope you're getting tons and tons of value out of it. I don't run any ads. I don't like people paying for the words to come out of my mouth. I don't charge you anything. All that I ask is that you pay your dues. When I say pay your dues, all I mean is subscribe and share the channel. And if you're somebody listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, go check out the video feed on YouTube. And if you're on YouTube and you might be looking for something to listen to while you're working, go check it out on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. But that is all I ask from you guys, that you just subscribe and share. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Let me know down in the comments what you think. But let's go ahead and get back to the action. And so one of the other things that you have to realize, that I think is something that is a good warning sign to have at the beginning of the journey. And I've kind of already touched on it though, but you have to realize that entrepreneurship, that the journey to financial freedom is a lonely road. It absolutely is. There's no doubt about it. The journey to achieving things that not a lot of people do is very, very lonely, especially at the beginning, because people think you're crazy. They think you're delusional. They don't understand, once again. But you have to realize that it's going to make you feel very lonely. You will feel like the entire world is against you at some point. There's times that you feel like everything that can go wrong is going wrong, and it really makes you just want to curl up into a ball. But that is when you've got to fight it and not curl up into a ball. You have to realize that on the hard, uncommon road that is also lonely, you're going to be misunderstood your entire way, because nobody is going to support you until everyone supports you. And when everyone supports you, that means that you've achieved a lot of success, because for most people, seeing is believing. You'll have some support here and there, but you will not have the support that you think you should have until you have achieved a lot of things. So up until that point, up until you have that support that you feel like you should have, you've got to be your support system. You've got to figure out a way to basically create a way for you to not be messed with in any way. You basically have to figure out a way to put a shield over your mind, all of it, because you have people that try to bring you down, and then just the doubt and unbelief will drag you down in itself. But if you can believe in yourself, and not let what people say affect you. You're setting yourself up for a long road of success. And so with that being said though, whether you are an entrepreneur or an intrapreneur, or maybe you just want to make a bigger impact on the world around you and achieve financial freedom, it's going to take a level of effort and discipline more than you have ever done in your life before. It can't just be another fad. It can't be another season of life. You've got to realize that the road that you're about to embark on is a lonely one, but it is 100% a road worth taking. Because when you get to the light at the end of the tunnel, a life that you never thought was possible be there waiting for you when it opens up. So you have to realize that you cannot give up. You can't ever give up. You have to realize that no days off means no days off. It's going to require uncommon effort and uncommon discipline to achieve. But you have everything that you need to be able to do it. All you have to do is believe in yourself and actually start working. Guys, that is all that I have for you today. I hope this doesn't scare you, but I hope it encourages you. Because I'll be honest, it is hard. It sucks at times. But there's something else that is unsaid about the early journey in entrepreneurship and doing the uncommon things. And it's that feeling that when you are doing something uncommon, there's a sense of pride in that. Because think about it, when, like in sports, if somebody breaks a record, that person has done something that nobody else has done. And think about how much pride is in that. And it's the same exact pride that you take when you are doing something that nobody else has done before. Not a lot of people do. So it is definitely worth it. It's a path worth going down. You just have to decide whether you are actually going to stand up. Well, you have to decide whether you're going to stand up and take it or whether you decide it's not for you. I respect your decision either way. I really highly encourage you to consider the path that is hard, because the easy path doesn't pay well. And monetarily, in life, just everything. The easy path does not pay well. But the hard path that has all the bumps, all the curves, everything that you can imagine that could get in your way, that hard path is a path that will lead to a life that you never thought was possible. So, thank you guys for being here today. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, share it with everybody that you know. Like the video, comment down things that you would like to see, comment down your favorite part of the episode, or if I sucked, let me know down in the comments. But just remember, success takes work, work takes time, and time is limited. So go out and be great. I love you guys, and I will see you in the next one.